Tonight on NewsWatch, fighting against the contraception mandate. More on the Priests for Life lawsuit heard today in a U.S. Court of Appeals.
Plus, bring back our girls. The pressure on Nigeria to do more to free nearly 300 girls kidnapped by Boko Haram.
And why some say schools are watching your children just a little too closely. All this and more tonight on NewsWatch. A group of priests today got to present their case in a federal court. Good evening. I'm Mark Martin.
And I'm Lori Johnson. The group Priests for Life says it shouldn't be forced to go along with an administration mandate. They say the controversial Health and Human Service contraception mandate is a clear violation of conscience. Paul Strand has more in tonight's top story.
Many religious organizations back Priests for Life in this case because they too could be forced to support a mandate their faith opposes, paying for or allowing their insurance groups to pay for contraception, some of which causes abortion.
Priests for Life points out their pro-life stand and their opposition to contraception is their very reason for existence. And now they're being ordered by the government to support the system that'll give away this contraception for free.
I mean, when a group like Priests for Life is being attacked, I think that says something. The pendulum swung so far that the federal government could mandate a group of Catholic priests to fund exactly what they're working against.
The government tells these groups they don't have to pay for the contraception if they'll just sign a form that then allows their health insurance to cover it. But Father Frank Pavone of Priests for Life says signing that paper would be cooperating with evil.
They're actually wanting to involve us by filling out a form that, yes, the form says we object, but then they're using that essentially as the authorization for them to go ahead and do what we're saying should not be done.
In another case heard right after, the Pacific Legal Foundation took on Obamacare at its very roots. It's representing Matt Sissel, an artist who says he violently objects to government forcing him to buy health insurance or pay hefty fines. The Supreme Court ruled that individual mandate's penalty is a tax. And PLF's Paul Beard argues that makes the way Obamacare was created and passed in the Senate unconstitutional.
All revenue-raising bills must originate in the House of Representatives, the House closest, the chamber closest to the people. This bill, Obamacare, with all of its tax-raising provisions, originated actually in the Senate, and that's the unconstitutional problem.
If Beard's side wins, that could gut the very core of Obamacare. Paul Strand, CBN News, Washington.
Father Frank Pavone of Priests for Life joins us now from our Washington Bureau with more. Father Pavone, you were in court for oral arguments. How do you think it went?
You know, I was pleasantly surprised at the way the questioning went. We had a 3-judge panel, and they were pretty hard on the government because they were saying, look, you know, you as the government cannot determine what is or isn't against the faith of the plaintiffs. And really, in a lot of these arguments, we've been arguing our case now since February of 2012 when the HHS mandate first came out. And all during this time, it's been very clear to us that the government simply is not choosing to understand what we mean by cooperation in evil. If the government has a plan to expand access to contraceptive and abortion-inducing drugs, which it clearly states that it does, then they're going to have to do it without us. And that's the whole point. You want to do this thing that is wrong, do not involve us. Well, so I think it went very well today.
Well, you had many supporters at the rally today, including some members of Congress. How important is their support?
It's critically important because this HHS mandate is a battlefront on many different playing fields, Congress being one of them, of course, the courts another, and in the arena of public education and molding public opinion. And therefore, we had Senator Ted Cruz, we had about 6 members of the House of Representatives, and then we had about 24 national pro-life leaders, some of whom flew in from other parts of the country to be with us. And this show of support says, first of all, we're working across the body of Christ. This is something that is truly an interdenominational effort to stand for faith. And secondly, it shows that that all of these groups working in their own way are ultimately defending liberty. You know, it's ironic because when the abortion wars in this country started, it was the other side who was saying, we are promoting liberty and freedom of conscience. And now it's come full circle where they're trying to impose abortion and contraception, and we're the ones saying, but we're standing up for freedom and for conscience.
What's at stake if the court actually rules against Priests for Life?
Well, of course, we will continue to appeal. This is the first time that the religious groups like Priests for Life, and there are many plaintiffs in many cases still at the district court level. This is the first time we've gotten to the appellate level, which makes today really an historic landmark in the battle against this mandate. But should we lose on this level, we will certainly appeal to the Supreme Court. And in the meantime, we have made it clear we will simply not obey this mandate. And this is really the position all of us are in as believers in the gospel. Our ultimate loyalty is Jesus Christ. That's what it means to be a Christian. And when the government tells us, you will do this, I mean, we will obey the government when the laws are just, because Scripture tells us government has a key role. But we will not obey the government when the laws are unjust. And both Scripture and Christian history tell a long story of the fact that that's what Christians do. They obey God first.
That's right. Well, Father Frank Pavone, thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you for having me.
House Republicans have voted to hold former IRS official Lois Lerner in contempt of Congress, with 6 Democrats joining the majority. Lerner has consistently refused to testify at committee hearings about her role in the IRS Tea Party controversy. The House is also calling on the Justice Department to appoint a special counsel to investigate. Overall, though, Congress is split on the issue, with critics of the vote saying it's an attempt by the GOP to stir up controversy against Democrats in an election year. But House Speaker John Boehner says it's time for the American people to learn the truth.
Pressure is mounting on the government of Nigeria to do more to find those kidnapped schoolgirls. But the group holding them has struck again. Dale Hurd has that story.
The Muslim terror group Boko Haram attacked a marketplace in Gamboro, Ngala. Estimates of the number of dead vary from 100 to possibly hundreds of people. Boko Haram had already murdered thousands of Nigerians in its mission to turn the nation into an Islamic caliphate under Sharia law. The group still holds 276 schoolgirls kidnapped 3 weeks ago. Their families have lost faith in the Nigerian government.
We don't feel Nigeria can help get our daughters back.
The U.S. is sending a 10-member military team to Nigeria's capital of Abuja, specialist in logistics and intelligence. But the search area for the missing girls, the Sambisi Forest Reserve in northeast Nigeria, is remote and huge.
I think the one thing that's almost certain is that the young girls are no longer together. They almost certainly are dispersed in small groups or even individuals.
Boko Haram has promised to sell the girls as sex slaves. At the World Economic Forum today, Nigeria's President Goodluck Jonathan said the kidnapping could be a turning point in the fight against Boko Haram.
I believe that the kidnap of these girls will be the beginning of end of terror in Nigeria.
But the kidnapping, as well as Boko Haram's repeated attacks, have sparked accusations that the Nigerian government is not doing enough to stop the militants.
The government of Nigeria has been, in my view, somewhat derelict in its responsibility toward protecting boys and girls, men and women, in northern Nigeria over the last years.
Nigeria has offered a $300,000 reward for any information that leads to the return of the missing girls. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
For more on Boko Haram, we turn to our terrorism analyst, Eric Stakelbeck, who joins us now from Washington. Eric, most Americans really don't know anything about this Muslim terrorist group, Boko Haram. What's their goal?
Yeah, Lori, their goal basically is to turn Nigeria into an Islamic state governed by Sharia law. That means no room for Christians, to say the least. Boko Haram has burnt down churches and massacred Christians over the past few years, Lori. And the name Boko Haram means Western education is forbidden. That gives you an idea of what they're after. No Western influence in Nigeria. And Lori, I have to say, this is one of the most vicious terrorist groups in the world. Just this week, they massacred 300 villagers in northern Nigeria. Now, they're based in northern Nigeria, but they would like to expand their jihad and their insurrection throughout the country. Whether they can do that, Nigeria is a big country, whether they can do that right now is pretty unclear.
Well, we've seen, of course, over the years, horrific things that Muslim terrorist organizations have done. But this is, as you say, a new low, a new type of evil targeting little girls. Why would they do that?
Yeah, well, according to them, Lori, look, according to their leadership, this is mandated in Islam. Slavery is legal in Islam, and the Quran says that this kind of thing, they call it the spoils of war, is perfectly legal. So what they're going to do here is they're going to make a major splash. They've garnered international headlines with this mass kidnapping, and I believe, Lori, unfortunately, they will follow through on their threats and attempt to sell these young girls into slavery. Now, does the world step in some way to stop that? Can it be stopped? That remains to be seen. But right now, Nigeria does not seem to be doing enough to battle back against this group.
But now it does seem that some other nations are getting involved. Do you think that will be helpful to stopping this group?
I think it's going to take some kind of Western involvement, Lori. That doesn't mean boots on the ground, military boots on the ground. But I know the U.S. right now is sending advisors, law enforcement, military advisors to assist Nigeria. I'm sure Europe will do the same thing. That seems to be what it's going to take. Nigeria right now doesn't seem too keen on accepting the aid, the Western aid, which is going to be an issue. But at the end of the day, a lot of times countries in Africa, in the Middle East, are not able to handle these Islamist insurrections all by themselves. And another wrinkle here, just to know, Boko Haram has local aims right now, Lori, in Nigeria, but the leader of Boko Haram has pledged allegiance to al-Qaeda. So there are some international jihadi links with this group as well.
All right, Eric, thanks for your insights.
Thank you, Lori.
And for more of Eric's exclusive coverage of terrorism around the world, make sure you check out his blog and his weekly show, The Watchman. You can find them at our website, cbnnews.com.
Ukraine's prime minister says his country is in the midst of an undeclared war. Separatist leaders in eastern regions are moving forward with a planned referendum on autonomy. The vote will take place this Sunday, despite Russian President Vladimir Putin calling for a delay. Separatist leaders say the referendum will decide if eastern regions will have more autonomy within Ukraine, but they have left open the possibility of using it to seek independence or actually annexation by Russia.
Coming up, severe weather strikes again, where the latest system is doing the most damage.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need, just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You could qualify for a pain-relieving knee brace at little or no cost to you. Get free delivery, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers at no charge to you. If you're on Medicare and have knee pain, don't wait. You may qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost. Friendly agents are standing by 24/7 to help you. Call the Health Hotline right now for details toll-free. Our friendly representatives are standing by now to take your call. We also have other pain-relieving braces available for shoulder, ankle, and your back. You may be eligible to receive these items and more at little or no cost to you as well. Call right now for details toll-free.
Operators are standing by. call 855-740-8143. That's 855-740-8143. Again, 855-740-8143. That's 855-740-8143.
Gas prices have been going up the past few months, but that could soon change. The Energy Information Administration says by the end of the summer, prices could be down as much as 30 cents. The current national average for a gallon of gas is $3.67. The EIA says by September, drivers should expect to pay about $3.46 a gallon. Experts say a combination of increased production and the annual change to a summer gas blend is behind the expected drop.
Another round of severe weather for the nation's heartland. Violent storms are affecting nearly 50 million people tonight. Some of those storms are leading to dangerous conditions, generating high winds, heavy rain, and hail. Caitlin Burke reports.
After one of the harshest winters on record, spring is bringing unusually hot weather, and along with it, some dangerous storms. Severe weather today from Minnesota to Texas. The worst of the storms continuing into tonight. Forecasters warn that in some areas, multiple severe storms are expected, so residents should stay alert, even after the first round has passed. Wednesday, storms swept through Colorado, spawning at least 5 tornadoes, including this one, which was caught on camera near Akron. Other parts of Colorado saw wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour and golf ball-sized hail. Heavy winds near Wichita, Kansas are blamed for derailing this train.
I didn't know what to think. I was shocked that it was strong enough to blow the train cars. I mean, I come across all the snap power poles and the power lines down, but I didn't think it was strong enough to blow the train over until I looked down there and saw it laying on its side.
30 train cars were knocked off the tracks by the 90-mile-an-hour winds. In Salt Lake City, thunderstorms affected air travel, lightning bolts striking 8 planes as they were trying to land. This severe weather comes on the heels of a recent string of devastating tornadoes across the South. President Obama got a first-hand look at the devastation in Arkansas. 15 people were killed in that state alone.
When something like this happens to a wonderful community like this one, it happens to all of us.
The president promised the government will help the victims rebuild their communities. Caitlin Burke, CBN News.
Up next, how schools are keeping tabs on kids and what that could mean for their privacy.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
Unfortunately, we almost expect the government to monitor our phone calls, emails, and what we buy with our credit cards. But few people know that our schools are also keeping more and more information on their students.
On one hand, it might help improve their education, but does it violate students' privacy? Heather Sells brings us tonight's Focus Report.
Once upon a time, schools used folders and files to track students' progress. Today, teachers like Sarah Cleforth use their laptops to collect information throughout the day.
Using data is a great way for me to be able to differentiate and cater my instruction to different kids' needs.
The problem, what happens to that data after it's collected? Today, 95% of school districts use vendors and so-called computer clouds to store all kinds of student information. But policies for protecting that data are generally weak and non-transparent. A recent study found only 25% of schools tell parents where their kids' information is stored. Another scary part, much of that data can be sold or marketed. Plus, many contracts allow vendors to keep student information forever.
We found in our research that essentially every school system across the country was collecting data. But when you ask school officials about what they were doing, they often were confused.
In Colorado, concerns over privacy led the state to completely sever its ties with its student data collection program. At issue, concerns over very personal information.
I think we have generally not a lot of understanding about what level of data is collected on our kids in schools, what protections are offered.
A year ago, moms Sunny Flynn and Rachel Strickland began investigating their district's plan to use a cloud service known as InBloom. First, it sounded good, and then they began to realize the amount of data that InBloom intended to collect.
When you really studied the InBloom infrastructure, the theory is that they can track our children all the way down to the keystroke level. And that's where I started to get very alarmed.
While their district didn't plan to use InBloom to that degree, Flynn and Strickland realized it could easily happen, where the district not only tracked kids' answers on the computer, but the way they thought to arrive at their answers. They also discovered that 8 other states plan to use InBloom. The even bigger picture, InBloom is just one service in a huge $8 billion education technology market. Much of it hinges on collecting what are known as data points on kids. Check out this promise from a tech whiz at a White House conference on education.
Newton can figure out things like you learn math best in the morning between 8:40 and 9:13 a.m. You learn science best in 42-minute bite sizes.
InBloom also attracted school districts by providing a convenient way to access student information from different sources. Another incentive, the Department of Education offers special funding to states that develop ways to track student information from preschool to post-college. Lots of good reasons for signing up, but Elliot Asp, Special Assistant to Colorado's Education Commissioner, admits his state didn't think carefully enough about privacy when committing to InBloom.
It's almost too much of a good thing. Gosh, we can collect this data and we can make it available to teachers to do this.
Colorado and 8 other states ultimately decided to end their contracts with InBloom, leading the startup to close up shop just last month. In doing so, it acknowledged that building public support will require more time and resources than anyone could have anticipated. But even with InBloom's demise, the challenge of how best to store and protect student data is far from over.
The states that we're in touch with are saying we need to be very careful about this, about the language we use, about the kind of data we're collecting. We need to be much more transparent.
One issue, changes in the federal student privacy law known as FERPA.
These recent FERPA regulations allow schools to collect more information and allow schools also to disclose additional information.
And privacy expert Kalia Barnes adds the scope of information is much broader.
We're talking not just GPAs and test scores. We're talking social security numbers. We're talking about teen pregnancy information. We're talking mental health information, socioeconomic status, issues like that.
For Strickland, Flynn, and other privacy-minded parents across the country, it's time to hit pause on this technology wave before it goes too far.
I think that the technology has simply gotten ahead of the leadership, and I think it's time that everybody slow down and really understand what we're getting ourselves into.
Going forward, tough questions remain, like how can parents access this data on their children? And can they opt out? Also, how long is data kept? And who decides what will be deleted?
Once you let the information out, you can never get it back. And so really the goal for parents at this point is to minimize the amount of data that is collected on our children, and then whatever is collected, protect it with maximum protections.
For these moms and many other tech-savvy parents, technology represents a double-edged sword. It can help teachers like Cleforth individualize children's education. They worry, however, that personal pieces of information collected on their kids could someday be used against them. Reporting in Denver, Heather Sells, CBN News.
Up next, how one beauty queen is using her third-degree burns to teach girls to overcome insecurity.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need, just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions, just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card, just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
Beauty comes from within. That's the message one Utah woman is trying to spread.
And she recently got a bigger platform to share it. As a child, Amy Stratton received third-degree burns. Now she's the winner of Mrs. Utah International. She says she's healed from her emotional scars and wants to use her physical scars to help motivate others. Stratton uses her time and her title to speak to young girls about the true meaning of beauty.
You know, I would see photographs of models, swimsuit models, or beauty queens, and, think I can never look like that, no matter what I do. So I think having the beauty title really appeals to the young girls and gets their attention, and then I can have that conversation with them about inner beauty.
Stratton says she hopes her message can help girls overcome insecurity about their appearance. It's great to see her reaching out to the younger generations.
Yeah, she would be a great speaker for schools this fall.
Maybe a good interview on the 700 Club.
Absolutely. That's all the time we have for this edition of NewsWatch.
Remember, you can email us your comments and questions at newswatch@cbn.com.